Did you know that many so-called business opportunities are actually just clever traps? Multi-level marketing, MLM companies often promise financial freedom, flexible hours, and the dream of being your own boss, but behind the glossy brochures and motivational speeches, the reality can be far less glamorous. For most people, the path leads not to riches, but to empty wallets, strained relationships, and endless recruiting. Yet somehow, these schemes keep thriving, drawing in millions worldwide. So why do they keep winning, and why do people keep falling for them? Let's dive right into it. The shame cycle that keeps you quiet. One of the most powerful weapons MLMs and pyramid schemes use isn't just flashy promises, it's shame. The business model thrives on it. When victims lose money, they often turn the blame inward, convincing themselves they should have worked harder, recognized the warning signs, or done more research. This self-blame is a trap, and it's exactly what scammers count on. By making participants feel personally responsible for their losses, the system ensures they stay silent, avoiding public criticism and scrutiny. MLMs expertly disguise exploitation behind friendly faces, uplifting slogans, and feel-good concepts like community, empowerment, and sisterhood. Recruits are told they are part of a family, which makes it harder to question the structure without feeling like they're betraying that family. This emotional manipulation is no accident. It's a calculated way to keep people loyal long after the red flags appear. The guilt becomes even heavier when victims are encouraged to bring friends or family into the business. If those loved ones lose money too, the emotional burden can be overwhelming, making the victim feel like they've personally harmed the people they care about most. That guilt is paralyzing, keeping them from speaking out or warning others. But here's the truth. The fault lies entirely with the manipulative system, not the individuals who got caught in it. MLMs are designed so that the majority will fail, no matter how hard they work. This isn't bad luck or a few isolated incidents, it's the business model functioning exactly as intended. The silence created by shame doesn't just protect individual recruiters, it shields the entire MLM industry. As long as victims remain quiet, these companies can operate in plain sight, using the same recruitment scripts and motivational tactics to target new people. And this is where the deeper truth emerges. MLMs aren't collapsing because they're poorly run, they survive precisely because they are deliberately structured to funnel wealth to a tiny group at the top while draining the finances, energy, and confidence of everyone else. To understand why so many people walk away worse off, we have to examine how these schemes are built from the ground up to exploit human trust, hope, and vulnerability. The MLM numbers don't lie. Statistics tell a story that MLM recruiters will never put on their Instagram feed. The majority of participants earn shockingly little, and that's before expenses like inventory purchases, training fees, and event tickets are factored in. For example, in one MLM's income disclosure, nearly 90% of participants made around $2,000 a year, barely enough to cover a few months of groceries. A small percentage, about 6 to 7%, earned between $10,000 and $30,000 annually, but that's before deducting the thousands spent just to remain active. Only a tiny fraction at the very top, often less than 1%, make what could be considered a full-time income. This is not a flaw in the system, it is the system. MLMs rely on constant recruitment to feed the upper levels, meaning most people must lose money for the few at the top to profit. And because the product sales are usually tied to recruitment incentives rather than genuine market demand, the business can only survive as long as there's a fresh supply of hopeful recruits. The math is brutally simple. For someone to win, many others must lose. And yet, whenever these numbers are brought up, there's always someone ready to say, "But I made money in my MLM." While that may be true for a select few, it doesn't erase the reality that their success depends on the losses of countless others. In an MLM, every dollar earned by someone near the top comes directly from the pockets of those below, not from genuine customer demand. This means that even if one person's story sounds positive, it's built on a structure where the majority are destined to fail. The rare winners are not proof that the system works. They are proof that it works exactly as designed, with the odds stacked heavily in favor of a tiny elite. The truth is, no matter how passionately someone defends their MLM success story, the underlying structure doesn't change. And that's because the rules of business aren't flexible. They apply to everyone, no matter how much positivity, motivation, or manifestation is involved. This is where we have to zoom out and look at a bigger truth. Real businesses and real success are built on solid foundations, not on the shifting sands of a pyramid-shaped dream. The laws of business and life are immutable. Sustainable success has nothing to do with hype or blind optimism. It's about creating something of real value. In business, there's no bypassing the fundamentals. You need a genuine product or service that solves a real problem, a clear target audience, effective marketing, and systems that can be repeated and scaled. MLMs often fail this test because they don't primarily sell products. They sell the idea of financial freedom, making recruitment the real product. No amount of team spirit, motivational calls, or vision boards can change that. In contrast, real entrepreneurship demands a patience, resilience, and the ability to learn from failure without hiding behind illusions. It's not glamorous work, but it's the kind that builds lasting income and credibility. When you base your business on something tangible and valuable, rather than on recruiting the next hopeful dreamer, you're building on rock, not sand. That's where true empowerment, stability, and long-term success begin. And once you understand that lasting success comes from solid foundations, it becomes easier to see why chasing shortcuts is so dangerous. MLMs thrive on selling the illusion of a fast track to wealth, convincing people that motivation and hustle alone can replace skill, strategy, and real value. But in life and business, there are no cheat codes. The moment you start looking for loopholes or easy money, you step onto a slippery slope where promises feel real, but the results never materialize. That's exactly how people get trapped in cycles of hope, disappointment, and shame, because they were chasing a dream that was never built to last. When you let go of the search for quick fixes, you open the door to something far more rewarding. Building a business with integrity. The real win isn't in making fast money that leaves a trail of broken trust, but in creating something that you can proudly put your name on. A venture that stands the test of time doesn't require you to hide the truth, exaggerate results, or feel guilty about how it operates. It's about knowing that your success uplifts others instead of depending on their loss. Build something you can be proud of. The most fulfilling businesses aren't built on hype. They're built on honesty, value, and a genuine desire to make a positive impact. When you choose to create something ethical and sustainable, you're not just building income, you're building trust, credibility, and long-term relationships. This means offering products or services that solve real problems, pricing them fairly, and ensuring that your growth benefits both you and your customers. In an ethical business, your marketing doesn't rely on manipulation, and your wins don't come at the expense of someone else's stability. Instead of fearing the day people find out the truth, you can confidently share your journey, knowing it's rooted in transparency. That's the kind of success you don't have to defend or apologize for. Success that feels good because it is good. And when you build something that aligns with your values, you're not just creating a source of income, you're creating a legacy you can stand behind. You won't have to dodge questions, hide behind excuses, or downplay how your business works. Instead, you can speak about it openly, proudly, and without hesitation, knowing it delivers genuine value. That's the kind of success that lasts, because it's rooted in truth, not in the empty promises of a system designed to exploit. So, when you think about the kind of success you want, would you rather chase quick cash that fades or build something real that you can be proud of for a lifetime? Let us know in the comment below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until then, see you in the next video.